Good Sunday evening, everybody. It is the 4th of October. Jerry Ann and I are busy with a lot of different things. Today, she decided to record her doing one of our new recipes, which is not from the Nordic Way book. We have actually actually bought two more cookbooks. One of them, both of the new ones are for slow cookers or Instant Pots, more like, not slow cookers, Instant Pots. This one particular recipe is a type of roast beef. It is from I'm trying to think. It's from I have a picture of the cookbook. I can't remember if it's a keto or the diabetics cookbook. But we have a diabetic and keto not slow. I keep on wanting to say diabetic and keto Instant Pot cookbooks. And so we're trying a pot roast, which has basically not a turnip, a parsnip, some celery, some carrots, red wine, dry red wine, Dijon mustard. I can't remember everything in it off the top of my head, but it will be on Jerry Ann's channel. So any of you who are not a member of Jerry Ann's channel and want to see this cooking recipe, just look her up on YouTube, Jerry Ann Hinton. I will try to put the link in the bottom. Jerry Ann will have to show me how to do that. But the last couple days have been for the better. Yes, they're still a little up and down, but not as bad as they were, let's say, a week ago. So we're getting back on our feet. We're trying to get back to our healthy foods and lifestyle and whatnot. Like I said, it's been a slow go. It's been over 2 weeks, and I'm not trying to push Jerry Ann to get back up on her feet. She's actually doing a very good job on her own with the talks with her friends and family and her circle of people that she can go to for inspiration and uplifting. Today her sister called her, which is the first time her sister called. This is her sister Janie called. And Janie, I like to try to call her the mother hen because she is the one person, or the one sister who tries to keep everybody going, trying to keep everybody upbeat, trying to make sure everybody's okay. She called while I was at work to talk to Jerry. So Jerry was going to try to go in to do crafting. She was all set up. Her space is cleaned up. She's got all her supplies where she wants it and things like that. So she was ready to do crafting, and her sister called. Well, I don't blame her from not doing any crafting because of that incident. Because, wow, it's been 2.5, 3 weeks, and finally somebody's calling me to see how I'm doing. That's what she said. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So when we sat down to start the dinner that we planned yesterday to do for today, and she said, "Do you want to record it for my channel, or is she recording it for her channel?" And I said, "Record it for your channel because she's got the most amount of viewers. She has the most income from her viewership." So I was like, we both need videos, but I can easily go and sit down and do a chat with, or not a chat with me, a Bible video, or just a life update video, or just any old video. Now, I know I'm not doing as many as I used to when I first started. Two reasons why. One, when I work, a lot of times when I come home, I don't feel like doing anything but eating and relaxing. Today was a good day at work. Today wasn't chaotically busy like it was yesterday, because I was going to do a video yesterday, but by the time I got home and settled down and had dinner and did our usual stuff, I was just like, I'm wiped out. I just want to go to bed. Well, because the recipe we're doing takes an hour, an hour and 5 minutes cooking time, but about a little over 10 minutes prep time if you don't know the recipe. So I figured, hey, while the food is cooking, I can jump in my little space and do a video. So that's what I'm doing. Obviously that's what I'm doing. I was gonna do a video, a Bible chat, and I started going through some of the materials that I have basically done up. And basically, I've written in my journal different verses that I want to talk about. But then I started to go to, because of what's been going on, I was flipping through my Bible, and because my Bible is, I think I've told you what it's called. The Bible is called the Everyday Man's Bible. Now, doesn't mean that everything in here is for men or men alone. There's a lot of stuff in here that pertains to the ladies. But I found a section because it breaks it down, and every so often you come across 2 pages that has a theme. This one's emotions, and I felt like, wow, this would be perfect for the situation that I'm going through here, plus just the global situation with the pandemic. The coronavirus is still affecting everybody. Some countries less than others. According to the CDC and the World Health Administration and whatnot, America is going through either another wave or a second stage or whatever they want to call it, because Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, their numbers are dropping. They're dropping like really dropping. North America, and especially Brazil, according to what I read, is having a spike, a second wave, as some people want to call it. And I know here in America, our health, because of the health crisis, emotions are flying high. We have the a lot of the various cities are having increased criminal issues. Friend of mine that I work with was talking about going to visit family in Kansas City, where she's from, and said that the Kansas City is having a rise in high crime such as homicide. And I just kind of went, and you want to go visit? But whether it's the health issues that are going around our country, the escalation in crime, the movement for Black Lives Matter or justice for all, whatever movement it is. I mean, there's so many different ones that I've heard about that I'm just kind of like, yes, I can understand we need reform in this country. We need a lot of changes in this country for the betterment and the justice of all. I'm one of those people that kind of go, it's not just black people. It's not the African American Black Lives Matter movement. It's, like I said before, America is a melting pot of every skin type, creed, culture, race, religion. I mean, we are literally one of the few countries or nations that can truly claim that we are a full-blown mixing pot, and we try to accommodate everybody. That's where things kind of run into a lot of head bashing and not head bashing, the wrong words, head butting. Thank you, that's the word I wanted to use, head butting over justice and who, I mean, it's like, if we were to take the various people in this country and separate them by where their ancestors originated from, the only people in my mind that have the maximum right to claim this country as theirs is the Native American people, because they were here before the Anglo-Saxons. They were here before the slave traders brung Africans over here. They were here before the Asiatic people came over here for whatever reasons. They were here before the Spanish conquered South America and split it up between Portugal and Spain and other Latin America, or not Latin American, but Latin speaking people. The only people who have the right to claim this land as theirs is the Native American people. But I'm just going to jump off that rant because I don't want to cause issues with my, and I call everybody my brother or sister, my dark-skinned brother, my Latin brother, my Asian brother. You know, we're all brothers and sisters in one way or another, whether it's under the guise of religious God as the father of all, or the fact that maybe somewhere down my ancestry we had, you know, relationships with various cultures or creeds. I mean, if I were to look at my ancestry, especially what I'm starting to think is my ancestry because of Ancestry.com, the Norsemen who literally mapped just about every inch of the European western seaboard into the Mediterranean and across the north through the Baltic area. Who knows what relationships they had with. Well, we know they had relationships with the Celtics, the basically most of the people from the UK, a lot of the Germanic states or German countries before division and whatnot, up to the Slavic nations in the Baltics, south to the French, Spanish, Portuguese, into the Mediterranean, which means Greeks, Romans, North African, Egyptian, whatever nations they were at the time when trading routes were established by the Norsemen. You know, I've always said, my father, I'll say this, my father used to basically coin the phrase, we are a Heinz 57 bottle. We literally have a lot of different nationalities in our DNA, which DNAancestry.com is proving. But anyhow, to get off that, get back at home. Here at home, y'all know we lost Jerry Ann's younger brother. It hit her pretty hard. I mean, there probably still is a lot of unresolved issues because of during the 7 years we were here in Missouri before he passed away. We lost, basically it's either he blocked us or something was going on that communication between Jerry and him got lost. Now, we've had a lot of his friends who knew him well say that he spoke highly of her, which helped her a little bit. Made her a little bit sadder in some ways, too. But, as I was saying, I got into this section of my Bible that's called Emotions. And I started reading some of it. I'm going to read a little bit to you. This section is, this little section is called, It's Okay to Show Your Feelings. Now, the reason why I'm going to gear this more towards guys, because of the fact that there are so many, I'm gonna compare this to me because of the factor I was given mixed signals, mixed information when I had my first crisis when I lost 4 family members in my household before I met Jerry. And I was told, before I get to this, I was told by multiple family members and friends of the family that I had to be strong. Now, in my brain, at the age of 15, 16. That meant I was now basically the man of the house. I had to stifle or hide my emotions. And it's taken me 30, 35 years to realize, no, that's not good, because it causes you, the person who is stifling your emotions, to either have emotional eruptions that are not good for you, or you tend to become so emotionally stunted or dead that it's just, it's not good in general. But one of the things it says right here, and I'm not going to go read the book chapter and the whole 9 yards. I'll tell you what it is. But it says here, the first thing it says, Jesus wept. John 11:35. Yeah, Jesus cried for a lot of for the sinner and the downtrodden and whatnot. And the next one, it says, rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. Romans 12:15. That's kind of a great, concept. Rejoice with those who are rejoicing and mourn with those who are mourning. In a way, it's kind of like it's not only just an emotional support, because you're emotionally supporting or you're emotionally understanding what a person's going through. Because I mean, how many people can literally say, I was not happy because somebody else was happy? I was like, really? Happiness is kind of an infectious thing. I mean, I've noticed with myself that when I'm happy and I'm joyful and I'm having a good old time, Jerry Ann is. Jerry Ann is sitting right next to being happy and joyful and joking around and laughing at funny things and things like that. Granted, there are times where it's like something Jerry Ann finds funny, I don't, and vice versa. Some of the things I find funny, Jerry Ann doesn't. But also, mourning. How many can sit there and say that you've never mourned with somebody? That you, my sisters, my sisters, I don't have sisters. My sister-in-laws used to say, you can't cry because if you cry, I cry. It's not always they're crying for you, but they're crying with you. Because a lot of times what you're crying about, a lot of people understand and cry with you. The next one is called light in a messenger's eye brings joy to the heart, and good news gives health to the bone, or to the bones. That's a proverb. Proverbs 15:30. Now, I don't know about the light in a messenger's eye. And I don't understand that one. I would have to literally sit down and read it and try to understand what it means. But the idea of good news gives health. How many people who's gotten good news becomes downtrodden or emotionally depressed or unhealthy? I don't know anybody who's done that. I mean, it's like, good news, that's always going to bring a smile to somebody. It's always going to make them feel better. Now, I have studied a lot of different belief systems. And the funny thing about some of those belief systems, even though they may not follow the Christian rhetoric or teachings and whatnot, well, let me just finish this and I'll get to that, because it's one of those weird things. Let's see here. The king rejoices in your strength, Lord. How great is his joy in the victory you give. That's Psalms 21:1. Sorry, I was listening to noise outside the room. The next one is, well, let me just try to touch on that. When a victory, I mean, and granted, this has to do with the Old Testament, when there was kings and rulers. And I'm not saying there is no longer rulers or kings or anything like that, but a victory, it doesn't matter if it's a king, a personal victory, whatever it is. A lot of people are going to rejoice over their victories. I do. I do. There are so many things that I did not think I could accomplish in my lifetime or at all, period. And I'm accomplishing them. I never thought I would be able to handle driving Jerianne from her eye doctor's appointment in Columbia, or not Columbia, Jefferson City, back home. That's an hour and a half trip, almost, yeah, about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more trip through two different cities down here. Granted, for the most part, once I get on the main route that takes us straight north to south, which is Route 63, Highway 63, Missouri Highway 63. I don't know what it is in other states. I didn't think I was going to do that because one, yeah, a lot of big trucks drive on it, especially when you go from between the two big cities, Jefferson and Columbia. They're major cities. Now, granted, I'm on the same highway and I have to do one or two little interchanges, but I stay on 63. I didn't think I was going to do that because of the big rigs and other people driving around me. I learned as long as I stay at a comfortable speed, don't worry about those behind me. When they get a chance to pass me, let them pass me. If they don't get a chance to pass me, they can't really do much. They can't force me to go faster. They can annoy the heck out of me by being what I think is too close. But the fact that I now can do that comfortably is a victory. It's a personal victory. Yeah, I rejoice over it. There's a lot of little things like cooking. Doing the cooking that I've been able to do, doing that, changing to a healthier lifestyle, I didn't think I could do that. I now can. I know I can. It's a victory. Now, staying on the path of healthy food and whatnot, well, if I stay on it, good, great. That's what I consider a constant daily victory. One of the things I have learned in my life is basically take each thing that you do, and when you accomplish it, even if it's a small, tiny little speck of a victory, it's a victory. It's something you finally accomplished that you didn't think you could accomplish. The next one, rejoice in the Lord and be glad. Okay, I'm gonna say it the way it says, even though I think it's different. It should be pronounced differently. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad, you righteous. Yeah, you righteous. I almost said righteousness. You righteous. Sing, all you who are upright in heart. That's Psalms 32:11. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad. Do you have to be righteous to do that? I don't think so. There's a lot of things that are in the Bible that I am like, I don't know if it matters. As rejoicing in the Lord and be glad. Sing, all who are upright in heart. Again, that phrase. It's not that I don't take offense to it, because I don't. But the thing is, nowadays it is hard to determine if, and I don't judge anybody, so it's me. I'm judging myself. There are times I don't know if I'm upright, but I'll still sing. I'll sing my praises. Sorry, getting a little dry throat. And then the last one, it says, "You, God, are my God. Earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you, in a dry and parched land where there is no water. Psalms 63:1. That right there, that passage, that's a very interesting one because, I mean, seeking God, everybody should attempt to seek God. I don't. I'm one of those people that says free will. Does not matter what religion you are. Free will is a right. It's a natural right that we all have. We have right to choose. We have the free will to choose. Nowadays, because of the way things are, trying to seek God in a land that is basically becoming lawless and just about godless. Now, not saying that everybody's godless, not saying that the world it has fallen so far into the depths of darkness that there's no God. No. He's out there. He's waiting for us to seek him. He's waiting for us to call out to him for whatever reason. Now, I'm not educated in the way that most people want people to be educated. You have to have a college degree or a doctorate or whatever. There are many people I know or I have heard of or even know personally that are very smart. They're what my father used to call street smart. Now, in my mind, street smart does not mean you learn everything from the street. Street smart to me is somebody who's gained knowledge from life experiences, personal studies, and just learning things what my wife would call the hard way. Now, then there are those who are book smart, and they've gotten college degrees, they've gone to schools, things like that. I will tell you right off the bat, I know a lot of stuff, but I'm not a professor. I'm not a college educated person. I do not have a degree in theology. I do not have a degree in mythology. I do not have a degree in any sciences or whatnot. I have books that I've read. I have people I talk to who've educated me. Sorry, nudged my phone too much. I have what some people would call nowadays, the one person I can think of off my brain, he was a pretty smart guy. He was also a country and western musician, Chris Christopherson, and they called him I don't remember if they called him a rogue or Rhodes Scholar. And basically, the way I heard it explained, especially when they explained Rhodes Scholar, was somebody who basically, like me, learned everything through life experiences. Either read up on it, listened to people who knew about it, learned it the hard way by basically experimentation, things like that. I could, if I wanted to, if I did not, well, not if I wanted to, if I had the money, one, two, if I did not have test anxiety or anxiety of one form or another, I am pretty sure I can go and get a degree in theology and a degree in mythology, especially Nordic mythology. My religious views, I've said it once before. My roots are Christian. I was born and raised as a Christian. I consider myself religious. I don't consider myself the average or the textbook Christian. But I'm not a hypocrite. I won't sit there and spout scripture and then turn around and practice a different religion. No, I don't. I won't do that. I've had people ask me, because of my Nordic knowledge and understanding, if I was Norse pagan. No, I'm not pagan. I am Nordic or Norse, depending on how you want to put it, because the fact that I understand the people, and all my information, all my studies basically have said you are descended from the Nordic people. Does not mean I go practicing their beliefs. I honor them because they are my ancestors, but I also honor God because of the fact that He is the one I was raised to believe in. If you want to call me names in the comments, that's fine and dandy. Until you sit down and literally have a full-blown day, week-long conversation or living with me type situation, you won't understand what's up here. But I will tell you this much, because I've said it before, because I've had plenty of people try to judge me. Don't judge me. You don't have the right to judge me. I don't judge you. You want to be Catholic, you want to be Christian, you want to be Pentecostal, Presbyterian, whatever religion you choose to be, that's fine, dandy. That's your choice. Just like it's my choice to sit here and talk to you about me and about my understandings and what I'm reading. I am pretty sure that 99.9% of the people that are listening to this video don't like being judged. Guess what? Neither do I. I'm one of those 99.9% people. I have been judged all my life for one thing or another. I've had labels slapped on me all my life for one thing or another by people much smarter than anybody else I know, or people who are in power of sorts. For instance, I'm just going to give it to you. I'm going to break it down. From day one of school, from kindergarten to the time I dropped out of school, and I dropped out in the middle of my 12th grade and still got my GED with flying colors. I was labeled as slow, stupid, uneducatable by the military. Why? Because the military at the time, back in the 70s, did not know how to diagnose hyperactivity or ADHD. I had those two things against me. Because of those two things right there, the school system, while I was going through the military, and no, it was not a military school where I dressed in uniform and blah, blah, blah. No, it was a regular, like, mainstream school, kindergarten to 12, well, Dad retired by the time I was in 6th grade. Pretty much most of my elementary years, I was in what was considered a mainstream school. Mainstream school teachers, but it was in military facilities because, well, while we were in Arkansas, it was not a military facility, and that's where they first diagnosed me under military guidance as being slow, stupid, and uneducated. Yes, I'm almost done. That was my wife basically asking me if I'm almost done because we got to get dinner. It wasn't until I got into junior high school that they figured out what was wrong. So I was held back a couple of years, not only because of the fact that when we went to Germany, the education system that they were using in Germany was actually 2 years ahead of the U.S. system. So I got held back 2 years when we went there. And then when we came back, I was held back 2 years. But still, I've proven to myself, and that's all I need to prove, that I'm smart. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and end this, even though it's in the middle of what I want to talk about, because I've got important stuff to do. If you enjoyed this conversation, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, and I don't care what the questions or comments are anymore, I will deal with them how I please, you can put those in the comment box. If you're viewing this for the first time and you viewed other videos and want to join my YouTube channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and then the bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, God bless. Have a good day. Bye.